All good. Okay, so let's start. 12 minutes. Yes, my topic is at the first view not perfectly connected to impedance, and in the second view, in the discussion, you will see that we have a big connection with the grid impedance. What I did is like I take the unbalance in the low voltage grid. And for this, we have to have the basic. We have the number 1, 0, 2, and 0. 0 is the zero system. So how the components, how the three-phase is going from the neutral. And we have the 2, which is not really what we want in the grid. It's like a disturbance, what disturbs also the engines because it's running the wrong way. And this is the negative system. And we have with the number 1, we mark the positive system. So perfectly would be all over positive system, but as you all know, this will not happen. What we did is 2 things. One is the measurement of the low voltage grid. Here is the data. To some, we had like a suburban grid. Most of the, or like half to third of the people have like heat pumps, and few have electric cars. We have like 7 PV system on 100 houses, so not so much. But we measured this lines where this PV system is like 2 or 3 on this line. And impedance was is shown here as well. Yeah, we have in some pictures, there's already a KVS, which is the cable distribution cabinet in German. So we love abbreviations. So here, as you see, this is the cable distribution cabinets, the whole grid, transformator station, and on the right side, there's a waste pump. On the left, there's like the grid just ending there, so there's no more cable cabinet. We also measured in one household, and you can see here when you're looking deeply, you see here the photovoltaic as well. So we just concentrate today on the unbalance. Unbalance factor is by the European standard 150, 160 is below 2% when it's not a special state, but 2% is should be a 10-minute mean value in 95% of the times in the week. So what we measured is below 2%, so we could be all very happy that we have no disturbance. And yeah, we see here like 1% in the Savage pump I already showed. We had the highest amount. You maybe know that the highest amount also refers to the impedance. Yeah, then we checked the same in the summer. As yeah, we have also more field measurements in other grids, and we had made a study for the distribution owners, network owners. So yeah, there also is like everything was a little bit below 2%. So as you know, normally no one will call the grid owner when everything works well, and normally you'll not see the unbalance if you are not measure it. What we see as well in the grid is like the charging of the car, where a lot of people are afraid of the unbalance will go up because I have one car charging on one phase. For sure, it will go up, but at the end, a lot of cars, or like when there's just a handful of cars they normally charge in the night, and then there's the whole power will be low, and the part of the, or the share of the unbalance is of the unbalance active power is low as well. And so the measurement show here is not very big difference between the time where the car charges and the time where the car is not charging. This is like other loads have also high power. Yeah, we see here in the charging times, like 19th, 26 December. Yeah, you can already see the bars. What we also measure on this time, it was like December 2019, so before COVID. And we also measured the unbalance in this heat map. And as you can see here, we had the churches. People go in church in December 24th. In Germany, we celebrate Christmas in the evening on 24th, and everyone goes to the church with the kids. And in the suburban, this church was stopping 5:15, and as we see 5:15, everyone's going home, and we have a big unbalance because everyone maybe is cooking. Oh, I don't know. And the next days you see as well, and on the Sylvester and New Year's day, yeah, we see as well more unbalanced than on the other day as well. So at the end, it's randomly, but we can see it on certain events days. Yeah, here is the same, that the voltage is dropping down, and yeah, this is just the event. And now I said in the early beginning of my presentation that we also had another thing, that the field measurement, we also went in the laboratory. And here we have a laboratory schematic view of what we did. We have in the middle, the yellow is the battery storage. And this battery storage is just on one phase. You see it's on L1 and connected to neutral for sure. And this all like in the middle of our investigation. We put on it a measurement system, because this normally will have no idea about unbalance. But if we put the measurement system at it, we can give him information, because we can tell him what he should do. So we told our battery system, yeah, to try to improve the unbalance. And if we just have the load, here on the left is the load. The load means what we gave to this here with the load to the whole system, and the grid simulator is try to stay stable. And the load is like 3 to 5 kilowatts, or sometimes we make like the reactive power. So we try to make the unbalance factor as high as possible for us. As you can see on 2, it was like only 0.5% unbalance factor, so like same like in the grid. But if we do 2 minus 5, it's like 0.8. It's like Christmas Eve. And if we make a lot of more loads and reactive power, we can go to 2%, and then we are over the limit. And we are very happy that on the right side, when we take the controller, and this is only on one phase, but we give him the data from 3 phase, we can tell him how to bring in active and reactive power, and yeah, improve the unbalance. We see here as well a lot more tries. Yeah, I just want to show you that it works more than one time. And here's the scenario 26. As I told, we did a lot of with reactive power too, because otherwise we could not get into the above 2% unbalance. And we can also see that it's brings in the unbalance factor as well, and Ku0, which is the zero components to the positive component, is still good with 2%. Yeah, conclusion, I have 10 minutes now. Conclusion is a laboratory measurement. We could show that we have a best, when we gave him information for 3-phase and gave him a little bit of intelligence and controlling, we can control a little bit of the unbalance. And in the field measurements in the night, it's not so, yeah, with a few cars, it's not a big problem with the unbalance. We did not increase it in simulation or something like that. We did this in this other study for the unbalance, and we have special days like Christmas holiday, and yeah. So first, thank you for the interest, and yeah, I hope you have questions. Otherwise, I will give you a little bit of a discussion. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Biedermann. Some questions? Mr. I don't see the name. Richard Juma. Yeah, Mr. Richard Juma. I see.
Thanks for the talk. One question that is more a question from a scientific endeavor. You mentioned that you did measurements in households. And I wanted to ask whether the data is publicly available that you measured there, or at least in some aggregated form, or not.
Yes, it's not public. I did not upload it, but it's no problem to share. We have the rights from this family. They are really open-minded. Their grid owner is also open-minded. So maybe you can just send me an email and then I can upload it somewhere.
Okay, that's great news. Otherwise, I want to encourage you to maybe publish this in some openly available database, maybe also write some data descriptor about it, because from my own expertise in trying to publishing data from power grids is something that's not done very often. And from the scientific perspective, we stumble across more and more people that actually are in need of data like this. And so if you have data that you can share, actually, that is usually a great thing to do. But maybe I write you an email anyhow.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
There is another question from Professor Kai. Professor Kai.
Okay,
maybe
thank you.
Also put on your video that we can see you.
Sorry, I'm in the lab. I don't have a camera here. Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry.
No.
Yeah, thank you so much for the good presentation. I have only a short question. Why we should why you should inject or use the reactive power to increase the symmetrical behavior of the grid?
Because the okay, have a look. Maybe I have better. Maybe I did not explain good enough. Here. Oh no. Is it gone?
It's gone.
It's gone. Okay. I prepared Power PDF as well because this will work anyway. Here's the controller. And we like expected that we have a low RX how to say Verhältnis, like yes, thank you. And this means when we want to turn this arrow here, we need Q reactive power more. And when we want to turn this, we need active power. And this means we only can handle one because we only at one phase one. So we can only handle this one. Okay. But when the other one turns, sometimes it's better to turn with them a little bit so that we also can turn the phase angle as well to make it more symmetrical.
Okay, that's okay. I can understand. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Okay.
and one last question from myself, because I also looked at the literature, and people did similar things like we did. They did simulations, we more laboratory work, but it shows that the BESS should be at the transformer, so as well to improve the unbalance at the end. So at the end, what I saw like 2 weeks ago, so I did not put it in the main time of my presentation, is the same. Like they found out that it's for the controller is very good to have a long line till there's the fold of the unbalance. So I think this is quite interesting that we have at the end. We can improve the unbalance better when we are far away and when we are nearer to the source, like the transformer. Yeah, maybe someone can even explain it very easy. For me, it was like, okay, yeah, maybe is this like a lever for this effect, because I have the whole voltage and not the small part of it, and then I can work with the I not need to improve the unbalance of the impedance. But yeah, this was quite interesting for me.
Yeah. I mean, we have guests from our speakers from the TU Dresden today here, but nobody mentioned in the paper.
No worries. I know the Friedemann from the paper, but for me, it's still it's not the paper what is interesting about, because for me it's interesting that at the beginning to have the battery is better to fight the unbalance than at the end. But normally, as we can see here, at the end we have the bigger unbalance. So this was very interesting. But I will give the other presentators time as well. And yeah,